middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war.
Y'all see Rob's new haircut?
Pro is gone.
I'm so not used to like not being the one who intros the show.
I was just gonna be quiet and figured you were gonna stop.
I just took a back seat. I'm a guest tonight. I didn't want to jump in.
Look, I got y'all. Y'all ready?
Oh no, Adrian.
Dude. That's not nice.
It looks good. It looks good. You look less Jewy today.
Dude, I'm in. Can I tell a story? I don't know how. I don't know if you guys like have like a.
Hey, for those of y'all that may not know him, this is Anthony Abate. He decided to grace us with his presence tonight.
I don't know if you guys do like.
We don't get to the main topic until 40 minutes in.
That's a little better than us. It's a little better than us. So I have a group chat for the pilgrimage I'm going on. So I set up a group chat for everybody coming, and there's a bunch of like rowdy young 20-somethings in it, and they start like saying wild stuff in the group chat. Now I'm like, guys, there's a priest in here. There's like the priest secretary is in here. You know, I'm like, I'm gonna start a separate boys chat. You know, so I start a separate boys chat, and I'm like, all right, guys, I started a separate chat because there's older women coming on this trip. Like my wife's in the chat. There's all the. I'm like,
Nicole, he just called you an older woman.
Well, so I'm like, you know, there's ladies in the chat. I'm like, so I started a new chat. I said, but Father is still in this chat. I said, Father is still in this chat, so don't say anything that you could get in trouble for or have to go confess. These kids start dropping like mustache man memes. They're dropping like mustache man memes.
You have to be like, guys, this is not Father Maudsley, okay?
I had to boot Father from the chat. I'm like, guys, are you out of your minds? I had to have like a talk with them. I'm like, all right, listen, like there'll be plenty of time for the boys to like stay up late, have a couple drinks, and like we'll get into the a little riffraff, but you guys have to have some decorum, and the priest is in, and it's like you have to respect the dignity of the priest, guys. Come on, settle down.
There are some priests that I know who would be right in there in the middle of it.
I mean, I know one or two also, but you gotta.
You gotta
know your audience before you gotta know your audience before you start dropping bombs.
Read the room a little bit. Read the room a little bit. We get a little rowdy in this one. This art check is a little crazy.
What is on the menu for tonight? What are we discussing?
I think we're going to discuss the new political party in Britain, the lynching of a Catholic kid in France, right?
Well, it wasn't quite a lynching, but a metaphorical lynching.
I suppose you're from the South, you would know what a lynching is.
I do.
And then what we want to go over, like bug out bags, get home bags.
Yeah, we'll go over a little bit of that.
I think I'm going to stick around for the British political party story, and then I have my first day back at work in like 3 weeks tomorrow, so I want to try and get a good night's sleep. I have a cold, and I took Advil cold and sinus, and that stuff is like legit meth. And I'm like, I'm not kidding. It's like I'm strung out from it. My hands are shaky and stuff.
So when I was in Afghanistan, I used to interact with the locals a lot. It was just part of my job. And we had one guy that we would talk to every day. He would come to the gate and he'd bring us like food or try and sell us stuff or whatever. And one day he came in and he had a cold. And I was like, man, I'll help you out. I got some Dayquil. And so I went back to my
they had to stone him to death for drinking alcohol after that, didn't they?
No. So they'd never had medicine like that. They usually just suck it up, whatever. And so I gave him some Dayquil. And about 10 minutes later, he started like having a panic attack and anxiety. He thought he was having a heart attack, right? He's like, he's all panicked. So we had to get the corpsman over there and get him checked out because he never had anything like that at all. And so he thought he was dying. He thought I poisoned him.
It's like crack, bro. Like if you've never been exposed to, I went and my wife and I went away this weekend, and I catch a cold on Saturday, and I'm like, all right, let me go get some medicine. So I go, and I'm like, what's the best thing for like a cold? They're like, oh, you got to get Advil cold and sinus. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. They're like, we need your license. I'm like, why do you need my license? Well, they make meth with Advil cold and sinus, so we have to keep a record of everybody that buys it. I'm like, okay. I took I'm not kidding, shaking like I took amphetamines, man. It was wild.
Do you remember back in the day when we used to be able to get ephedrine at the gas station?
Yes.
What they call
for
them?
Ephedrine, the stacker.
The B, what was it?
No, triple C's.
There was one that looked like a B, like it was a B's on the packaging. It was just straight up ephedrine. This was back in like the early 2000s, before they went to like pseudoephedrine.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. It was like watching legal crack be doled out.
Speaking of legal crack, the new knick-knack looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Rob, I don't get paid anything for that. So
I know I'm not going to give the promo code or anything like that, but
yeah, I can't get it here. They won't send it down.
knick-knack.
Yeah, I can get everybody else, but I can't get knick-knack for a reason. I don't know what that's about. But all right, so we'll jump into the topic real quick so we can get rid of Anthony real fast. So first thing I want to get into Rupert Low. Let's get into Rupert Low first. Have you all seen the video going around that he put out?
Is that the one you sent me, Rob?
Yeah, that's one I said.
Okay, yeah, I did watch it.
So
do we want to play any of the actual video?
We'll play. Yeah, we'll start. We'll just play like the first minute. It kind of because it gives you an idea. Because then I've got a tweet where he actually lays out in text what he's wanting to do. So let me pull this up. I will share it here.
I got it.
You've got it. All right, go ahead and pull it. Yep.
Hold on. Let me get rid of this here so we can see your face.
I'm gonna duck under my own logo.
I have chosen to speak to you today from the farm because places like this represent what proper Britain is about. Hard work, responsibility, effort, duty, stewardship. This is the England I know, and this is the England that I love. On a farm, you don't think in election cycles or headlines or polling. You think in seasons. You think in generations, in what you leave behind to those who come after you. And that's why, here on the farm, I am now launching Restore Britain as a national political party. I'm now going to dedicate my life to finding, organizing, funding, and providing hundreds of qualified candidates to present to the British people at the next general election. This process has already started, with invitations being issued to patriots in aligned political parties, Reform, the Conservatives, the SDP, Advance, and more. In local politics, we will work in partnership with localized political parties, such as Great Yarmouth First, that have the best interests of their residents at heart, combining our forces at the next general election. The men and women standing for Restore in that election.
Let's go ahead and pause it there.
Will not be.
So Rupert Low was kind of forced into becoming an MP. He didn't want to do it. He was basically asked to come back and do it.
MP as a member of parliament, guys,
right.
Not military police.
Right. Yeah. And so he's more or less becoming the Cincinnatus rather than the Caesar at this point in what he's going for. So the day after he started this, they already had 10,000 people join the party the next day. And like to us, that doesn't sound like a lot, right? That's like my little league, squad over here pretty much. But in Britain, if you don't account for immigrants, that's a lot of people, especially the next day. And so that's the kind of support he's gotten. And if you just go in and search Rupert Low, it is overwhelming the amount of people who are for this. Now,
Yeah, I think they're
have,
up to 60,000 now. By the way,
are
as
they?
of today, yeah,
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
they're already bigger than some of the other long-standing parties.
Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me at all, because when back in the 2000s with like Tony Blair, and then what was it? David Cameron was after him, I believe.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. The normal conservative party there, which is the Labor Party. I think it's
I
called.
think they're just called the conservatives, the Tories, right?
No, so it's backwards there. The conservatives are not conservative. The
Well, I
conservatives,
don't think the Labor Party's conservative either.
but the Labor Party was the party more aligned with what we would think of as like Republicans. Well, and the Tories, yes, there's a little bit of it because they have multiple parties there. But anyway, and it's really all become a uni party over there as well, just as it is here. And they're about 5 to 10 years ahead of us when it comes to the massive amount of immigration that's coming in, because they've been doing this, they've been having them come in droves since the 90s, because they saw the demographics issue for a while ago, and so they know, like, if we don't have a bunch of labor come in, we're not going to be able to survive. So instead of encouraging people to have families, they have just imported labor, and so it's now come to a head where people in Britain don't even feel at home. You can't even walk around London and hear English spoken anymore. It's mostly Arabic, and sometimes, was it
Swally or something.
So you got the Indians with a dot, not with a feather.
Yeah, you got the Pakistanis.
Yeah, trying to remember what it is they call it.
Punjabi.
Punjabi, that's what it is.
Do you think they can actually vote their way out of anything, though?
No.
Like, honestly,
none of us can. We're
I don't think so either. That's what I said to Rob when he sent that to me. He said, "England is waking up." I said, "Yeah, I do think a lot of people are waking up. I just don't think anything is getting solved politically." But
no, but you still need a movement, right? To follow, to lead, to lead the effort against what we're up against.
Well, and the issue in England is it's going to be bloody, but it's going to be on one side because the English don't have the weapons.
Yeah,
that's an interesting point, man. I just think Europe is just due for such a chastisement for abandoning God that there's I don't know, it's going to be bloody, and it's going to be bad.
Yeah. Well, and because I keep bringing this up, and with the prophecy with Fatima, talking about the Muslims coming in, because we brought it up in a few shows. Well, I don't know, it was like a month ago. They were catching Muslims there with bow and arrow, right? They were planning on assassinating people with bow and arrow, which, like, you think, well, that's very primitive, but it's like, think of how many people in the United States hunt with bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Right. How
you're efficient with a bow and arrow in a society that doesn't have guns.
Yeah.
You're a warlord.
Silent. You'd have no idea where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then we have the prophecy with Ali Fatima where they're using arrows when they're killing the men.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Bishop in white. And so it's really, to your point, Anthony, is because they've turned from God, then the chastisement is going to be so much worse for them. Which then we can get into like prophecy chasing all night, but there's no way they can vote. We can't vote our way out of it.
No,
we're past the event horizon too. We are just not as far along as England has, and we have a Second Amendment. So there's.
I think it's more. It's also because England's so much smaller. Like the Muslim population there is much more dangerous. Like we've talked about it on our show. It's like America may have a lot of Muslims, but it's still like 1% of the population, right? So you're going to have you might have conflict in major cities and stuff, but like you move out, you go out anywhere into the country and you're fine. You're not going to see any of that. So
but I mean, England does have a lot of that too. I mean, they're physically smaller, but a lot of England still is countryside.
Yeah. And you have issues with the Muslims in the countryside here in the United States. They broke up a terrorist camp in Georgia like 5 or 6 years ago. They were caught doing basically CQB, urban operations. They were blowing up things. Like they had like 60 acres. Nobody had any idea they were out there, and they're training. And then finally, someone ratted them out, and that's when they got busted. Like if that's just one we've caught, we know they have them in Texas. We know they have them in California, in with the cartels and their terrorist networks that they have. Like they may only be 1%, but that's what we know of, right? How many came across the border in the last 5 years that we don't know about? Man, there's that video that went about that guy I was talking about that came across the southern border. So you may not know me now, but you will know me. Right. And it turns out he's a huge terrorist facilitator. I
just hate that, like they couldn't just like let us have our lives in peace, man. Like they had to ruin something so nice, and it's so obviously intentional. Like it wasn't about votes or elections. It was about destroying our way of life. It's so intentional, and it really just sucks because like,
well, they used the votes to get there initially.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then once they had enough of them, and then they could play on the sentiments of the people to not want to avoid confrontation. So now they're like, well, now we have the Dreamers Act, and all these people that have been here for 20 years, they were born here, right? And they've lived here their entire life. They should be citizens. No, they need to go too.
Yeah, but I still think it wasn't really about votes. I think it was about destroying any kind of unity this culture ever this country ever had, right? Like the destroying anything that would have unified us as a country. Now if there's any kind of outside threat, the country hates each other so much you won't even unify around that outside threat anymore. We'll be tearing ourselves from the inside out while fighting an outside threat. It's just just scary stuff on the horizon, man. I don't know.
But you keep saying that it's not about the votes, but that's what they used the votes to get.
Yeah, of course they played the system, right? But
so
I just don't think.
But no, it's not about the long-term goal of the
right. Votes. I don't think it was about getting democratic policies.
No, it's an end to the means.
The West.
Yeah, they used it to get where we are now, and then their next play is going to be to have us in such a desire for authoritarianism because we have so much crime and violence going on that we're going to beg for somebody to come in and save us, right? And that was a big reason a lot of people voted for Trump. They're like, I'm tired of all the crime, right? And he's just an old man who wants to play nice with Israel and make a bunch of money off crypto before he dies.
Yeah, he's unwilling to do what needs to be done, which is what gives me a little hope with Low here. Not so much with the politics of it, but he seems to understand and also like spreading word like what needs to be done is gonna suck. It's gonna be hard, whereas Trump saying we're gonna have the best economy, we're gonna have the best of this and the best of that. This guy's like, no guys, it's gonna blow. Things are gonna be hard, it's gonna suck.
Yeah, if you're not willing to put in 20, 30 years of actual grit and sacrifice, you'll have nothing to leave for the generations after.
I think it's gonna be like 150 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
we can't even think in terms like that. Like our previous generations would build a cathedral that would take 400 years to build. We're like, we need our thing now.
I mean, it took the Marxists 100 years to get into school boards, and they were willing to do it.
Dine-in Pizza Huts anymore. Like we couldn't even hang on to that.
I got one 45 minutes away.
See, you got to go 45 minutes. I bet you aren't.
I got to go 45 minutes for everything.
Yeah, Rob's got to go 45 minutes if he wants eggs, dude. Unless he got
real.
Chickens. Yeah.
I think I started. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how I want to say this and keep us from getting kicked off of YouTube. When I realized finally that Trump was not the man, when he was talking about making sure home prices stay high for those who have that as their largest asset. Like, brother,
it took you that long?
Well, I mean, because like up to then, I was like, what? He's just an old like boomer, right? And I was kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt, but on a lot of stuff, and I kept wanting to hang on, like maybe because he does a lot of right things. Like he's got Tom Homan in who's doing a lot of right things with deportations. But when he said that after everything that's been going on, and like you're so out of touch with what's going on, you're sacrificing the future of your children for the benefit of the people who are going to be gone in 5 years.
Yeah.
And like, I don't care about my house. Make my house worth $50,000. I don't care, as long as my kids can buy a house. Like I will live in my house till I die. I will be upside down
Yeah,
forever.
I don't care about my home value because I care about my kids. But it's like, even you remember all this stuff going on in Minnesota, and it was like, oh, if we're not willing to go through some of this hard stuff, like they just back out. Like nothing is. I don't even think Tom Homan's doing that great of a job. I think they stopped the influx of immigration, which is obviously good, right? Like it was an open border under Biden, but I don't think they're really deporting millions of people.
I think it's going to, I mean, you're right. As far as active deportations, no, they're not. But I think right now it's hard to tell how many have deported themselves.
Yeah.
Well, so you may know this, Anthony, for the line of work you're in up there, but down here, construction has just about stopped.
Really?
Like, so no one, and it's not that they're being deported; they're scared to go to work, so they're just staying home. Which is then causing a crunch on all. And I'm aware of it because at my place right now, there's 200 acres of pasture around my property that another guy owned, and he sold it to a developer, and they were going to put 560 houses on it, right? And they were supposed to break ground last October, then I got pushed to November, then December, then January, and they still haven't done it because no one's buying houses right now because construction has stopped everywhere. The demand is cratered. And it's not just because of rates. Like the rates right now are where they were in 2008 when I bought my first house, and people were still buying houses. It's not that. It is a little bit to do with the economy, and because it's so much more expensive to live now. Like I made that post the other day, or yesterday probably, about the people's mortgages going up.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
They can't.
So like their homeowners insurance is also going up. All these things are going up. Yeah.
Yeah. And you go from paying like $1,500 a month for your mortgage, for your little 2,000 square foot house, to now 3,000. Like, how do you expect somebody? And on top of that, their health insurance is doubled or tripled. And on top of that, their car insurance is doubled.
Yeah.
Right. And then gas is down here is like $2.30 a gallon, but that doesn't matter. Right. If I can't afford anything else, what's the point of buying gas? So down here, and I've got clients who are illegal and they're scared to go to work. And down here in Alabama, they're really not doing much. They're going after criminals, right? And a lot of the MS-13, Tren de Aragua, and things like that. But they're not going after,
I'd be happy with that though.
The little Jose.
Just get the criminals out. It's like I don't know, man. It gets depressing when you talk about this stuff too much, but
what gives me hope on a lot of this is how many of the younger guys at my parish are very willing to go through something very hard economically to do what needs to be done. Right. And just the conversations I have with some of these young men in their 20s, maybe in their early 30s, way more than I was able to, I could even figure. But like when you and I were, first started working, I think I made like $11 an hour down in Kentucky at the time. And that was a lot of money, $22,000 a year. My rent was like $600 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment by myself that I afforded. Right. But now you can't do anything with $22,000 a year.
Right.
So it's getting to the point now where you're having to make concessions on things that you didn't plan. Like, you can do Klarna now for groceries.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine having a payment for some groceries you bought last year? Right. That's where we're at.
I was doing pretty good at 21. Like I owned my first home by 23, 24. But I also worked for a family business. Like I jumped right into a union gig, stuff like that. But I don't know. Like because me and my wife are actually talking about it this weekend. Like my son is like trying to get himself established. He's 20, and it's like I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do to buy a home. It's just like, it's it's like you know, he even says, he's like, I don't think he can live on Long Island, you know.
He probably won't be able to live in the New York metropolitan area.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna. I mean, I'm hoping I can get out of here at a certain point. We'll see how that goes, but
it's getting to the point now where you're having to migrate to areas just to be able to afford to live in some instances. And even here in Alabama, you on the west side of Birmingham, you can find a house for $50,000-$60,000, but you're the only one with your skin tone.
Yeah,
right. You're the only one that listens to country for 12 straight blocks, right?
Yeah, and you can't put kids in an environment like your kids. You don't want
even
your kids
if
you're the only one here that listens to country.
I don't even listen to country that much, as evidenced by the video that starts this show.
Yeah, true.
But you know, we've had, you know, our diocesan Latin Mass is in the murder capital of America.
They almost always are.
And like we've had people come out, you know, from a baptism on a Saturday, and there was a shootout like a block down, and as they're leaving the parish, there's still a dead body on the sidewalk as they drive past, right? And we've had some families are wanting to live near the parish. I'm like, are you insane? Like, you know, like, well, you know, we're risking ourselves for the faith. Like, that's stupidity. That's not risking yourself for the faith. Like, in order for that to even be feasible, you need about 6 families to all live right next to each other, and 2 of the fathers can never leave the house, right? To provide security for the other 4 houses every day. Like, like that, even that to be even a consideration, right? But the understanding that we can never live near our parish because it's in a horrible area.
I went to a really nice parish on Sunday driving home from upstate. We were in like Socrates, New York. I drove home and went to this really nice little chapel, Our Lady of something, I don't know, but it was like a 35-minute low mass. Like, it was so nice. Like, I went in, there was only like 30 people there, but it was, Father spit right through it. I was like, oh, this is wonderful. I don't know how people ever complain about this.
That's our first Saturday low mass. It's
That's
like
great.
boom. He's like right after he does the readings, he just turns right back around and gets right into it. You know,
Yeah,
skips the homily and everything. We're out pretty quick.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know, man. I don't know how long you think the status quo remains. Like, how long do you like? I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what happens by the end of Trump's presidency, man. I don't.
It won't wait that long. I think this summer is going to get real violent.
Yeah,
This summer's
going to get real violent.
If the ice Minneapolis stuff had happened in May instead of
it would have been a nightmare. Yeah, like as bad as we think it was, if it was hot out, it would have been 1,000 times worse.
And as we've talked about in a couple of shows ago, everything is being laid out for us to expect a conflict by the end of this year, early next year. So some of the things I brought up, Anthony, I don't know if you watched the show, but the government, specifically the Department of Defense or Department of War, whatever they want to call themselves now, is buying up everything. For example, a buddy of mine owns a business that they make like medical supply kits, like, you know, IFACs and, you know, first aid kits, things like that. They can't get supplies because the government's bought everything up. We have had ammunition plants shut down because they can't get any black powder, primers, cases, or anything, because Lake City Ammunition out west has bought everything because the government is requiring them to, their goal is 10 times larger to have ammunition.
Now, are they gearing up for an external war or an internal conflict?
The suspicion is China.
So we're gearing up for an external enemy.
Yeah. But China, in their expertise in irregular warfare, is going to cause a conflict in the United States to distract us, to keep us from being able to intercept.
Yeah, and they're so buried in here.
We look at the Chinese biolabs that have been found the last month.
Look at the 625,000 Chinese students that Trump said he would not get rid of. Right. That was probably my first inkling when I saw that. I was like, Orange Man may be bad.
Yeah, I was hoping to get another 3 years before this stuff started. I was hoping to make it to 2028.
I hope so. I mean, hopefully we get 30 more years. I don't know, but all the indicators are showing that it's going to be real soon,
Scary
sooner
stuff.
than any of us can really be prepared for.
Especially if talks that Russia now is going to go back to the dollar, right, for things like oil and gas and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like if China feels that they're starting to lose Russia, they'll decide, well, now's our best chance at Taiwan.
Well,
if
and
in
keep in
5 years
mind
Russia's gone,
Well, let them
that
have Taiwan.
what?
You think we're going to go to war for Taiwan?
Yeah, probably.
You think we would? You think we would go to war?
It-
I think we
if
talk
we
like we
don't-
would, but I don't know
if
we
we don't have microchip plants here before that,
Yeah, that's
then
the problem.
Yeah, we'll go to war for Taiwan. No, and we sure as the hell will for Japan.
and understand that a big reason we went after Venezuela was not the oil; it was their silver mines. There's an average of 15 pounds of silver in every missile we make.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we would have to, based on what we have as far as silver mines in the United States and things that we have and mines that we have access to, we would have to mine 10,000 years in the next 2 years to get what we need out of those things. So we have to spread out to get access to more minerals and more, metals and things of that sort.
Did you see the lithium deposit in Nevada?
Yeah. Like, I just feel like they make numbers. They're like, what's the biggest number we can think of? 1.5 trillion in lithium under a super volcano. How do you plan on getting that out?
we can't even mine the copper and the the world's second largest copper nickel deposit that was found up here in Minnesota because we're worried about ruining lakes. Now they're like, yeah, world's largest lithium right under that volcano, guys. Let's go get it.
Just right underneath it. You know what we can do to get up? We'll light off a nuclear bomb in that volcano. We can get to it then.
Oh,
All right, bring up that tweet real quick, Rob. We're gonna read through what Rupert Low was talking about in that video. Okay. Like, man, I can't see that.
I'm sorry, you're blind.
No, I'm just old. Legal immigrants gone, all of them, without apology. Every man, woman, they will all be deported. We have released the most comprehensive deportation policy ever produced in Britain. 100 pages of detailed steps to remove every single illegal migrant living in our country. You know, it's the easiest thing. The easiest thing to do to get them to self-deport. Remove them from their capability of banking and sending remittances back home.
Yep,
that's what they do. Like they just send their money back to their home country. Mm-hmm. You're just draining the wealth from your own country and sending it abroad.
Yeah, if you started taxing remittances at like 50%, problem solved.
100%. Why should they send?
I don't. I'm just saying it wouldn't even take 100.
Yeah, I mean, even 50% would do it, but take everything. No, you can't say anything back home. If you're going to be here illegally and work illegally, your money's got to be used here.
If we're just in economic zone, your money stays in the economic zone. Damn it.
That's right. Let's see. This is step one. This miscreants are the priority. The sex pest will be removed. The hotels will close. The flights will begin. I promise you that. Go down. He just talks about immigration for a minute.
We will discriminate.
Yeah. Like he had a clip earlier today that came out. He's like, I don't care about your indigenous language at all. Let's see. A foreigner claiming benefits and living in social housing, again, they will be asked to leave. Which was shocking to me when I found out that, and I didn't know this because I've really had no reason to know it, but 47% of Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico are on welfare.
Yeah.
Half of that entire territory is just sucking on the teat of the government. Like that, at this point, we should probably just cut them off. But we can't because we have military bases there, so we're not going to do that.
Darn it.
We will not tolerate extremists who wish to do us harm. Foreign Islamists will be deported. Dual national extremists. We should deport anybody with.
I mean, this is all great, but none of it's going to happen.
Maybe, yeah. But what this does is this lays the groundwork for people. It primes them to be willing to accept this stuff, right? So that when if some strong man does come in and decide to do this, Like they're much more willing to accept it, right? Because we keep thinking of immediate effects. Like if JD Vance comes in, he's going to get rid of all these. No, like we're way past electing our way out of this, right? What's going to happen is there's going to be some type of former military congressman or current serving National Guard general or somebody who's going to basically dare the government to do something about him deporting people or getting rid of or taking down criminals or whatever. Right. And then once a lot of the local area starts to see that he's getting results and things are being done well and it's much more safer to go out, he's going to bolster a lot of support, which is then going to encourage other people to join him from other territories, whether it be counties, states, or whatever. Right. That's what's going to end up going to happen. Right. It's the same thing that happened with Spain, with Franco. Eventually people got tired and they were willing to accept a little bit of hardship to be able to bring peace again. And that's what he did. Thankfully, it was somebody with morals and virtue. Right. And we didn't have, Mad Dog Mattis come in and do it, because that man has no morals or virtue.
The British electoral system is definitely different too. In a parliamentary system like that, like you might think this party has no chance of being elected, but it's a lot more fluid than in the U.S. two-party system. Mm-hmm. So you never know.
Yeah, and they don't have to have a majority. No, they just have to. No. They have to establish a coalition with another party that gives them the majority.
I mean, if you look at like what the fascists did in Italy, same thing. It was a parliamentary system. They gained, a strong minority of seats and created a coalition. It then just kind of took power at that point from there. So you never know what might happen.
Let me ask you, Anthony, what would you do, where you live now, if, as you're working, things slowly deteriorate to the point where you no longer could go to a job unless you had at least 10 men with you, no matter what.
I mean, that's used to be how it was in the 80s. In the 80s, you had the coalitions. Like you'd have like these black gangs that would roll up on you if you didn't have one of their guys on the gang, and they'd just take your equipment, like they take the keys out of your equipment. So you just got to, broker deals with them and pay guys off. I mean, it's mob stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, but what if this is people like Antifa that don't care about money? Like,
I mean, if my job is shut down, I mean, honestly, if my job is shut down, then I gotta. If I'm not committed to New York for work, I'm out. I sell my house, see what I could get in the equity on my house and see what I got in my annuity, and I try to make it work somewhere else.
Yeah. Where do you have somewhere in mind that you would go?
Not yet. I mean, it depends, because our plan is to leave New York, but we're thinking like, all right, maybe Tennessee, North Carolina, but I don't know what the country looks like if we're talking about a situation like that. Yeah.
Right.
But now my job is also not in one location every day. Like we're all over the place. So it would be hard for them to shut my job down. Like Antifa's not shutting my job down. We're going in. If we see there is a protest in one spot, we'll skip that job and go to another job. It's not, my job's very unique.
Yeah. But I'm bringing this up because that's how things work now. Right. And so I'm wondering, and I'm just using you as an example. I'm just asking you because I'm genuinely curious. Like do you ever war game these things in your head? Just kind of like, or just forward think, right? Like, okay, what if it gets to the point where like my wife no longer feels safe at home when I'm gone, right? Because there's a lot more crime in the area because the police can't do patrols.
Yeah. I mean, it would not just happen overnight like that here. And if that does happen, I would get out of here.
Yeah. But this would be a slow deterioration.
Yeah.
Right. So eventually it would get to the point where like, hey, you're hearing about more break-ins in the neighborhood, like one a week. Right. And then 6 months down the road, like your neighbors get broke in and they're home at the time and they get beat up real bad. Right. And then it's slowly, and then you like start noticing, hey, I haven't seen a cop in months come through here.
Yeah.
Right. And then your wife and your kids, they're not feeling so you're having to lock the doors, put bars in the windows.
Probably go to like Western PA or something.
So, and I bring this up so y'all can start thinking, because you're the the frog in a boiling water. All of us are, right? Some of us are just the water's not boiling as fast, and you have to put that line in your head of, all right, when this happens or something equivalent to this, like I need to make a decision, right? Either we go ahead and move, or we organize or something, right? And we all need to come to that realization. Like for me, mine was when I lived in downtown Birmingham during COVID, and my truck got broken into and all tore up just because I didn't have a BLM sticker on my truck. And I've got, at that time we had just had my fourth kid. I was like, man, I can't stay here. Like I can't stay. I love being downtown. I love being near everything, but I'm surrounded by, Marxists and liberals and minorities that don't like that I have a American flag on my front porch, right? I can't stay here. And so that's when I made the decision. Well, this is too much for me. I'm out.
Yeah.
And, I make the commute every day for everything. But we all have to make that decision.
My family isn't near the city at all. Like where I work is a different story. That could get difficult, but where my family is, they're nowhere near the city.
And what's good is you've got some family in some areas outside of
I got family in Kentucky. I got family around Colorado.
Yeah, so and that could be a simple beachhead for you. If you're like, hey, maybe I'll you move down to Kentucky, right? In a few years when you're like I'm just done with it, right? But for those that people who are watching who don't have that luxury of having someone that lives outside of that area and they don't have anywhere to go, you need to make sure that you're vigilant on what's going on, but as well, you need to make sure that you're thinking about these things and what you're going to do if, right? And because you don't want to be caught flat-footed when these things come and you have to make a decision on it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into the Quentin. I'm not even going to try.
I'm actually going to fly because I got to get some sleep tonight, but I guess Rob and I have a priest coming on with us tomorrow that we've made friends with on the show that, he's reached out to us. So we're going to have him on tomorrow, and you boys enjoy the rest of your night. Adrian, it's nice catching up with you, brother.
You too, brother. Take care.
See ya.
All right. Let's pull up the first Quentin link. Yeah. I thought I put more than that on there.
There's 3 of them.
Okay, good. Mine just wasn't updated on my computer.
So let's see. Hold on. Do we have throw this up there? It's not real graphic, but it is the video of him being attacked. So
yeah. So what you're seeing here is a bunch of them jumped him, got him on the ground, and just kept beating. He was coming home from a rally of sorts for the protection of women. He was basically protesting that women don't feel safe on the streets, and this is what ended up happening because he was by himself. He died today. He had a brain bleed, and it took a couple of days, and he ended up dying. And so since then, we have seen a lot of protests kick up in France about Quentin, because he was part of Action Française as well, like the new reconstituted version of it, right? Because if y'all aren't aware of Action Française, it was who's it, Pius the 12th? The
10th, 11th, or 12th, one of those
guys basically forced them to disband because they were just too Catholic, I guess.
So Action Française, François, whatever it is, was a Catholic political movement, obviously in France. Was there some in Canada too?
Probably.
But yeah, they were forced to dissolve.
Yeah. And so now it's basically reconstituted stuff. It's starting to come back, and is led by the laity. I'm not sure if they have any clergy involved with it whatsoever. I assume not, in order to protect the clergy. They might have some implicit support by clergy, but nothing that's obvious that clergyman could be punished for, because we know how the church likes to punish anybody who's a little bit too Catholic. And so there's been a lot of protests and such. Like the next link should be one of them, Rob. And you're seeing these protests are taking place more or less outside of churches. Right? That's where they're choosing to frame it. That's where they're choosing to have the imagery from.
Let's see if there's sound here.
I think this one might. I think the next one might have subtitles that are translated. It did on my phone anyway. It might not do it on this. The imagery here is amazing.
Yeah, got a good vibe to
it. This reminds me a lot of the Poland anti-LGBTQ protests that were happening back in like 21.
Yeah,
right, where you'd see this throng of Marxists and held off by like 12 or 15 Catholics by themselves. Right. It looked like The Walking Dead or what was it? Z Generation Z. What was it? First, like running zombies.
World War Z.
World War Z. Right. There's this. I mean, it's filled up to the steps of this, and it's looking down from a bird's eye point of view. I've got the photo on my phone somewhere. I'll post it to Twitter. But this throng of Marxists, and it's just being held off by like 12 or 15 Catholics on the steps. And it was, you had, the road flares behind them, and just smoke everywhere because of it. The imagery was insane on that. And this reminds me a lot of that.
So looking at the history of the organization, it actually was not dissolved by the church. So it started in 1899, right, as a nationalist response to the Dreyfus affair. It became like an integral nationalist movement. So it was anti-Republican, anti-parliamentarian, and of course they claim it was anti-Semitic. But let's see here. It attracted support from Catholics, even though the founder was an agnostic who pragmatically supported Catholicism for social order. And then it peaked in like the 20s. Pius XI did place its works and newspaper on the index, but that was lifted in 1939. They say some of them collaborated with the Vichy regime under Pétain in World War II, and then after France was liberated in 1947, it was dissolved. Well, actually, it was dissolved in 44, but then reorganized in 47. So it was dissolved as like the post-World War II movement.
But the kill shot was putting all their works on the index.
Yes, yeah,
is what really killed it more than anything, and it lost all its support from there. Did Ghost of Aunt Jemima get banned
for 30 minutes for bringing up the SSPX?
Okay.
Don't know why people are arguing with the SSPX in this chat, but
y'all need to stay on topic. Is what needs to happen.
Yeah, follow our lead here and stay on topic.
Rob doesn't care about SSPX criticism.
No, I've been to SSPX mass twice.
It always turns into, it eventually turns into ad hominems, right? And people just talking past each other. That's why
one
we
side
don't
yells
really
irregular at the other side yells modernist at that one, and
yeah, it's never a fruitful discussion. That's why we don't allow it, because a lot of y'all can't get out of your feelings about things.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not a matter of us disliking or liking the SSPX. Well, I have no problem going with the SSPX. Neither does Rob whatsoever. If we had an SSPX here, I would go there.
Same.
Right? But we don't.
Yeah,
not the traditional order in my entire state.
And the thing's been legislated now for what, 40 years? Who cares?
Like it's up there with Vatican II. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm done. Right? It's what's going to happen is what's going to happen. It's not going to change a thing. When the SSPX was excommunicated, they just grew. The same thing's going to happen this time. Right? But now we have the internet and now we have YouTube. And now people can actually hear what the SSPX homilies are about. Right. And that it's going to explode if they excommunicate it this time, because people are going to compare it to what the Chinese bishops are doing. And if anything, if any boomer out there has not realized, Generation Z hates inauthenticity. Right. If you can't be even keeled and provide the same punishments across the board, Generation Z will just destroy you. And they're basically bringing on their own destruction if they do excommunicate the SSPX. So with that, we're done talking about it. Okay? No more talking about it. We're done. It's not a good topic anymore. Everyone's tired of talking about it. I know some of y'all are new to it, but get over it. Go watch the other 6,000 hours of it on YouTube. It's not going to be done here.
If that's what you want, then Pelican Plus is probably for you.
You would love the flamingo.
The flamingo.
Go to the flamingo.
The flamingo.
You know what's sad?
Ghost.
You know what's sad?
Block you there. Touche. Touche.
She backdoored her way in. I can't stand watch Tim Flanders anymore. And I have no reason to dislike him whatsoever. But for some reason, something in my gut is like, I just can't stand watching him and listen to him anymore. And I don't know what it's about. I have no idea.
I know why I can't, but I'm going to keep that private.
Yeah, I don't have the relationships there that you all do.
I mean,
right?
Yeah, there's nothing like deep there. It's just,
it's like an inner sense of like hypocrisy. I don't know, or like unwilling. You want
for me, it was watching what Jeremiah did to that channel and just how it was allowed to happen. Sorry.
Yeah. And I think that's where it started for me. And then he started bringing on like the realm of the Philos Project type guys. Right. And he's wanting to get the other side. And like, brother, we don't care about like error has no rights.
Yeah.
Right? And so why are we listening to people that are speaking contrary to what the church has always taught? Like I just didn't get it. And I understand what he's trying to do.
Sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But it just, since then, like I see him and I immediately skip. And he's a phenomenal guy. And I have no reason to dislike him, but there's just something in me that like I'm picking up on something that is making me not want to watch him.
It's been a long time since I watched Me a Catholic, which is a shame because I watched it a ton.
Well, they didn't have a show for like a year.
That's a good point. That's probably why
nobody watched it. So, you know, I just don't. And 1 Peter 5 became his thing because that's what paid the bills, and I get that. But he didn't mind taking my money when he wasn't butting on any shows. You know, so I don't know. I just don't. I don't. Look, can y'all understand why like some people just don't get along with me? Okay, but
especially on Twitter.
I'm a hard pill to swallow.
Because on Twitter, you don't have the laugh or the, like you're just typing stuff. You're just ripping people apart. And there'll be times I see you tweet something, I'm like, what did you just?
There was one day, I got called out, rightfully so. Like I should have been called out. And it was something like young dad or something died at like 28. And everybody was like, oh yeah, it's so awful. Donate to his GoFundMe. And my comment was like, the man should have had life insurance. Like, he failed to plan, right? And who is it? What's the Nigerian Catholics? That guy,
James.
Yeah. So he called me out, rightfully so.
Yeah,
like, this isn't the time nor place to say it. I'm like, you're right, and I deleted the comment. Right? I was like, you're right. I'm gonna delete that. Right. But I'm still right. Like you should have life insurance. You got a family. What are you doing? Like, it's cheap. You're 20. You can buy $1 million for like $50 a month. Right. That's nothing. Right. Yes, it'll probably never pay out. Thank God you outlived it. Great, right? But no one should have to be paying a GoFundMe because you decided you wanted to go to McDonald's 2 more times that month. So,
damn you guys, you rotisserie chicken. Give it up for life insurance, guys. Come on.
you can get 10 Costco rotisserie chickens for $1 million worth of life insurance. It like stupid stuff like that, right? So, like, for example, boomers and not wanting to leave any money to their kids. Like, they'd rather go on infinite cruises than to leave a $150,000 house to their kids.
Yeah.
Right. But that drives me nuts. It also drives me nuts when I see anybody making bad financial decisions. Like, how do you make the worst?
The safe of them right back there.
The worst, but you can afford it because your mortgage is like,
I don't have a mortgage
in yen. It might as well be in yen.
5-bedroom house for $800 a month.
Yeah, that's unheard of. But people who just make bad financial decisions, the worst are people who it's a dual income house and they're pulling in like mid 6 figures, like paycheck to paycheck type people,
right?
And they don't have anything to show for it. Like, those people drive me nuts. So to go back to your point, yeah, on X I can be a little brash, and y'all have no idea because I'm kind of deadpan about my humor sometimes, so I get in trouble for it a little bit. All right, so let's see what else we have on the notes, and that was it.
That was basically it. So
all right, let's go X only,
Twitter only, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna do Twitter only, and we're going to.
I should probably
I'm gonna just go over like an idea of a get home bag and the reason you have a get home bag and all that.
Since Anthony's not on here, if you're watching this on Anthony's Twitter, I am going to remove it just so we don't say something that he doesn't want sit on his Twitter, which is unlikely knowing him, but just in case.
Yeah.
So I'm going to remove it from his now. And then are we ready to remove it from YouTube too?
Yeah, let's remove it from YouTube.
So if you're on YouTube, go to Twitter, go to X at either at Catholic Rob or at Guns and Rosaries with the Z. It's right on screen. If you guys can't figure that out, then you're actually perfect for this show.
Yep. Because you're a Marine just like me.
Okay.